Alright, now I actually got my guitars done and processed. I'm going to show you how I mixed my guitars, and let's see how that goes. Alright, so here we go. On my normal guitars, I'm not doing a whole lot. Do some low pass and high pass filtering, notching out a couple of whistle frequencies that I just don't like. That I'm just doing a very light mid-range EQ, a little bit of lows here, nothing too crazy, and a little bit of highs. In 9K, oh my god, 9K range. Doing some Neve EQ here, a little bit in the high mids, doing a little bit of low end where the chugs are, those palm mutings are, spacing those up just a little bit, and then I'm just compressing it with the distressor. Just kind of keeping it in the green, not trying to go too far into the yellow. I don't really care. I'm just using my ears. And then I got this tone right here. It's kind of like a DI tone, but it's really not. It's actually just like a very low gain amp going into a pedal and then into a cab. I know it's not just a DI because it's going straight into a cab. So what I got here is just some EQ. Right? Doing some dynamic EQ on the low end. Don't need that. High pass, low pass filter. And then I'm just doing a multi-band saturation. Not doing anything in the high end or the lows, just mid-range stuff where it's sitting at. And then I got some guitar effects over here. This is basically like an octave thingy. And what I'm doing here, I'm doing a couple of different things to it. First of all, I'm using an EQ. I'm getting rid of that because I'm using like this phaser pedal effect to it, which is boosting the high end that I want. So I'm using some dynamic EQ on that light, low pass, and high pass filter. Then I'm using a Neve EQ on this. A little bit of low end, a little bit of high mids, no high end at all. I'm doing a low cut to 80, just kind of boosting that up, and then I'm running it through a distressor, and I also have the distortion 3 button on, and then I'm running it through another depressor, another EQ, not distressor, another EQ, which is just kind of bringing up high air, because I have this effect that I want. That's what I want, because I have the phaser. Just making sure that pedal shines in there. I'll show you with and without it. So yeah, it's not doing a whole lot, but it's in the mix. There's a difference. And then I'm doing something a little bit more special. I'm taking those two files, I'm bringing it to this send. Basically, this is what it sounds like for the send. So as you can tell, there's only like very little going on here. I'm just cutting all that high end, getting rid of the sub, and I have a mono low end, so that I have this octave down. I have just this running through that signal, so it's just an octave down from the signal, and then I'm just taking all the high end and all the sub, and I'm focusing it on that low end, so this feels like it's actually heavier and lower than it actually is, with compensating all that high whoosh sound that pedal gives off. I don't want, because I'm not doing it before the chain, I'm doing it after the chain, which is not what you really want to do, but that's what it's doing. And then I have all these other effect stuff that doesn't really have anything on it because I doesn't need it. Alright, now I'm going to show you my guitar bus. I got a Reaper 3-band EQ. I'm boosting some lows, some mids, and some highs. Then I got this EQ, cutting out some whistle stuff, cutting out some high end. And then I got this Pro MB on here, which is just controlling all of the whole thing. Like my high end, I'm controlling that. My low end sub, I'm controlling that. And then I'm actually boosting like my lows, my mids, and my high mids. All that's being boosted. As you can see, it's being expanded. And then all this is just being compressed here. And then I'm driving that through a distressor. And then I'm driving it through some tape, adding some harmonic distortion. And then, because I drove it through a distressor, I drove it through a tape, there's going to be some extra stuff, some bad stuff in there that I'm going to get. So I put this resonance controller. This is a stabilizer from iZotope. It's kind of just getting rid of that shh. And then I got another one. It's kind of controlling the nasal area. See, that's what it's actually doing. And here's what the guitars sound like. I'm going to take the processing off and then I'm going to turn it on. And this is what it sounds like in a full mix. There we go. That's my processing chain for my guitars.